What's up, Tim Sykes here. Wanted to do a video lesson how I nailed the two hottest stocks in the entire market today. It doesn't always happen. It frankly doesn't even, happen often, but every now and then the stars align and we have these solid setups that really, just appeal to me. And because of my 20 plus years of experience, it's not cockiness, it's experience that allows me to really nail these plays for you guys, my students. Understand, this is why I am a teacher, okay? Too many people message me, and I'm getting so many messages saying, how did you spot these? I have no idea, and they're trading some other crappy stock that, is up or down 1, 2, 3%. How do you spot these 100% winners? First of all, let me just say, I traded well, 14 grand roughly on the day. Pretty awesome, but at the same time, I don't personally trade my Supernova alerts. So the 14 grand was mainly from the morning on NVNXF. But the better play turned out to be this one, DSGT into the close. This is absolutely insane. But in case you're wondering, I alerted this in the 7s, okay? And it closed in the 12s. So it's already a massive gain. It looks like it's going to probably gap up or morning spike. My initial goal when I picked it in the 7s, I thought that maybe it could get to the 14s. It might even go more. This thing is going full supernova. It has a history of this. Okay. So when I picked it, the news was already out. They had some good anti-dilution, press release, information, news, whatever you want to call it. It's a catalyst, okay? And massive volume. And it had very similar price action back in August. I was trading it then too. So understand, it's experience. I've been seeing these patterns for 20 plus years. We saw this exact same price action less than a month ago. So it's crazy to me that people aren't learning. But again, I get it. Most people just think the key to getting rich is hot picks and alerts, and they're not studying the process. I'm going to link a very specific presentation. This is a free broadcast, okay? I made this free. So you can hate me. You can be like, blah, blah, blah. You repeat the stuff too much. I don't care, okay? I'm going to link this right underneath this video. And this is a free broadcast training on supernovas. And this is specifically why I have gotten so rich. This is specifically why my students have gotten so rich. But before I get into DSGT, I got to talk about the morning spike on Novonix. They had this annual report out. I'll tell you how much I read of it. So I started scrolling through this. It's like a weird window. I started scrolling. This is page 1, annual report. Lots of text, lots of basic information. They have enough cash, 38 million, 66 million. This is as far as I read. I know there are people out there that read in depth and they want to know everything. This stock was spiking near the open because this annual report came out, and I saw that they develop high performance material for the lithium ion battery market focused on electric vehicles and energy storage applications, aka Tesla. Today, I'm filming this, in the nighttime. I'm sorry, I should have filmed it earlier. It's just been a crazy day. But as this report was coming out, Tesla's battery day was also happening today. So Tesla is down after hours. Their battery day was a bust. They didn't really announce anything much. But, this is the hottest stock in the entire market. Out of all the big companies in all the world, just in the past 200 days, it's gone from, $60, $70 a share up to 400. So actually hit, nearly 500. So 7 times your money in just a few months, which is awesome. When Novonix has an annual report on the day of battery day, the rumors start flying that they're going to be mentioned by Tesla. I never believe the rumors, okay? Leave a comment underneath this too, please. And I want to really be clear about this. I don't believe the rumors, but I am willing to ride the hype. Ride the hype, just never believe it. Leave that comment underneath this video. Say it out loud. Write it on your phone. Write it on your laptop. Hold on. Let me open up a Word document. This is literally, we're going to write this together, okay? Ride the hype. but never believe it. This one phrase will save you so much money over time. So many people, I'm going to even make it bigger. So many people go down with the ship because they believe it. They believe in the hype, and guess what? Sometimes it might become true. But if you're just cynical, there we go. Now it's the whole window. Ride the hype, but never believe it. And that was the key to my success today. That's been my key to success over the years. Before I knew this rule, I also lost $500,000 plus. If you read, my best-selling book, An American Hedge Fund, when I was riding the hype, but I fully believed it. So now I'm just cynical. And again, why am I so cynical? Am I a negative person? No, it's just experience. I've seen so much BS. So was there a chance that Tesla would recognize them and maybe they're working together? Yeah, maybe 0.5%. Maybe 1%. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's very low. The reason why I nailed NVNXF this morning, it was uptrending a little bit, but today clearly was the biggest percentage gain ever in its history. And really it had just a fantastic morning spike. We haven't seen OTC morning spikes like this. I know a lot of you challenge students are asking me questions. We'll go into detail on this tomorrow. I'm filming a Q&A webinar Wednesday night. So challenge students, get ready, ask me all your questions. Last webinar, I answered some crazy questions. I talked about how many licks it takes to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop. And I went into all the variables. And literally, I talked about it for like 4 minutes. There's a lot of variables. It's not an exact science. So with this, you can ask me any question. This is just a brief little video lesson, but OTC stocks do this, okay? They tend to really spike very quickly when there's too many orders, no, red candles. This is all 1 minute, and then it comes down. And this allows you, to ride the hype up. There were no shares to short, or at least I didn't see any. I've been hanging out with some of my top students the past few days, and unfortunately they were flying, like Jack Kellogg, Kyle Williams, Matt Monaco. They probably would have nailed this if there were shares to short. I don't know if there were. And then it dropped. And then there was a nice, this doesn't look like much, but this is $1 a share bounce. This is a 30% bounce inside of an hour. And I called it to a T. If you were in my chat room, I was like, look at this morning spike. This is amazing. I was buying it in the 2s, selling it in the 3s. That was my biggest win. I traded it multiple times. But, I underestimated it. But then I nailed the dip buy in here, and I didn't hold this whole time, but I took a few pieces, and I actually got a little too aggressive. I'm going to show you one other video. One sec. Let me show you this. This is a video I just posted from my hike the other day here in Arizona, and I was hiking Horseshoe Bend, and I brought my laptop, and I wanted to make a video just to make a point. So check this out.
What's up, Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader here, making a point about what is risky trading. Show them what's right behind me. Can they see what's behind me? I'm not a fan of heights, and I'm standing here like a schmuck because I need to make a point that this is risky, and you don't need to take these excessive risks in life or in the stock market. I want to teach you. I want to help you learn what I've learned over the past 20 plus years. So click the link in my bio. DM me if you want to learn. It's not about getting rich overnight. It's not about being right on every play. It's not even about hot alerts or picks. It is about learning a process. I have several millionaire students, but they started small, and that's what I want for you. You don't need to go through life taking excessive risks like this. I'm just here to prove a point, and that is how dedicated I am to my students. I have to get going before I freak out or faint, but please click the link in my bio or DM me if you want to be my student, only if you're dedicated. If you're lazy, don't bother. I gotta go. Bye.
So it was actually pretty crazy. So, this is what I do for students. Like I have to try to make the point. This was a stupid risk that I took. I also kind of broke my rules. Buying here on this dip, I recognize that it was going to spike. I mean, let me just show you my chat room commentary for a second. I don't think you realize how dead on I was. So this was my first alert here, buying NVNXF at 270, and I said battery play spiking on new annual report. Let's see how far it can go. Goals to sell in the 3s. And sure enough, that's exactly what it was. 5 minutes later, sold it in the mid 3s. I had no idea that it was going to go all the way to 5. Some people said, why not give it more time? I mean, this was my biggest win in a while. We haven't had a really hot market lately. But, it keeps going. I'm commenting on it now. 4s, 430, 440. And then I said it looks toppy here at 485. which actually turned out to be the exact top. A lot of people ask, how did you spot the exact top? Again, it's experience. Again, if you click the link just below this video where you learn about supernovas, you'll see that this happens again and again. You can learn to read them. I didn't even look for shares of short. I don't, contrary to some conspiracy theories out there, I don't short. It's just so tough as a teacher. Maybe if I was just like running a hedge fund or as a trader myself, but I'm optimized for teaching. So I said, looks toppy, big panic now. I'm rooting for the threes because I want as big of a panic as possible. And sure enough, we get a panic down to the threes, the very low threes. And I bought it here at 310. So this was like right here. And I thought that, 3 would be support. And this was nearly $2 a share, blow off top. So I thought I would be pretty good. But it got a little choppy in here. And, again, I'm getting this question like, Tim, you were a little early on your dip buy. I mean, it did get all the way to 280. So I was down 10%. If I really timed it, if I really wanted to just exit and play safe. I could have done that. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. But at the same time, sometimes I'm early, sometimes I'm late. Like when you're buying dips like this, I mean, it's very similar to CYDY. If you go back to June 30th, Tim Grittani made 300 grand. I made 30 grand. Jack Kellogg made like 75 grand. Kyle Williams made like 40 grand. Matt Monaco made like 30 grand. Even Michael Good made like 75 grand. CYDY had the same kind of big spike and big crash, even though that was a multi-day runner. And I was a little early on my dip buy there too, and I added because it was very similar price action. So I don't mind being a little too early. But I showed you that video saying like don't take excessive risks. This is me being a little risky and adding, getting my average down to the high twos. I actually could have really banked here if I had been quick enough because it actually bounced from the 290s. Straight up, like you can't even see it. But it bounced to 350, like literally within like 10 seconds. And I couldn't even get like anything executed because right when it went to the 350s, it came back down. So it was all very quick. And then it had another bounce and I think I might have sold it into this one. And I made a small profit. Then it bounced $1 a share. So, usually it's kind of like a bouncing ball type situation there. But I like the fact that, I was so dead on. I know this pattern inside and out, and that's what made me, a little more aggressive. But, in the hands of maybe somebody who's new, that would be very risky. So I don't encourage you to do that. So I said, then I'm looking, the bounce is weak. I won't rebuy yet. Congrats to Mr. Bean. He made 2 grand, and he has a 25 grand profit this month. Then I rebought it at 305. Sold it, at 330, so making nearly 10%. And then I traded it one more time, right in, where was it? It was a little while longer. Right here. And it kept uptrending, so I bought some at 350, and then I sold it at 374. And again, I caught the top, literally like right here, although it did uptrend into the close before crashing, just because of Tesla rumors are very risky to hold into an actual event. But I timed it pretty well. And overall, profits on this. And I'm very proud of this, $14,000 profit day. I'm also proud of students. Where was it? I have too many tweets. Sorry. Here's Mr. Bean. What he said, up 2,300 today. A little shy of less than 25,000, for the month. But he just broke, 50,000 in 3 months, which is awesome. He's a challenge student. Mr. Bean, come to the webinar tomorrow. I want to say something really special to you because I love hearing stories like this. So please do attend the challenge webinar tomorrow. Here's Randy. He nailed NVNX from the ones. And then he gives a little Carlton dance. And then Aufa, retirement money mentality, or retirement mentality, not retirement money mentality. That would be tough to retire on just 1,600. But retirement mentality where, you don't have to trade. And frankly, we haven't seen plays like this lately. So, it's been really kind of a game of patience. Gregory nailed, NAOV was another big morning spiker, by the way. And I'm sorry if I don't call you out. There's so many people, it's crazy, who are banking. NAOV, I didn't trade it. It was a little too choppy for me. Scion banked on DSGT, nines out in the tens. Alex made 2,700. Caleb made 1,200. He wants to come out with a Sykes fro wig. I'm actually growing out my hair for a reason. I'm going to make a video because, there's really a nasty business going on in China right now with the Uyghur Muslims. And they're using not only just their body parts, but their hair. They're shaving their hair of this, entire ethnicity. And the U.S. actually confiscated I think it was a 3-ton package of hair worth like $800,000. That was just one package. And you don't realize it. We all have hair, or most of us do. But there's a really nasty business of kind of just using prisoners' hair and selling it for profit. And I'm going to make a longer video on this, so be afraid, but we got to talk about it. And, I think many of us are not getting haircuts because of this whole pandemic, or we have hair to donate to. There's charities out there, so I'm going to highlight that in a little bit. So I encourage the Sykes fro wig, or, get your own fro. Just keep growing it out. And then, you can be part of this video that I'm going to be making soon too. So, Brock, 3,300 on the day, another 10K month. When 7 months ago, he was fighting just to be profitable. I love hearing about that. John Papa made $2,000 on DSGT. And then Greggy also banked like 20% on DSGT. Let me talk about DSGT real quick. This one just keeps going. And again, very similar price action, good positive news, huge volume. And this was my Supernova play. This is the single biggest percent winner in the entire stock market. So once again, just in case you don't understand, I'm going to include a link to this page. Look at my little goofy thumbs up right here. You just enter your name, you enter your email. It's 100% free, so you have no excuse. And this presentation took my team and I several months to put together. And it's funny, we have to actually update this page. This is when I was up 5.1 million. Now I'm up 5.8. It's been a hell of a year, but again, it has been a little slower lately. And DSGT really is bringing, the heat back. And I love this. Okay, so I want you learning to be patient when there's no great plays. And then I want you to come out of retirement when there is, a great setup like DSGT. I might have, 200 or 300 messages with students who banked on DSGT. So I'm proud that you're learning. Don't feel bad if you sell too soon. Like I was bragging about, how it's gone up basically 70% since my Supernova buy alert. And literally there's promoters and piece of crap penny stock junkies who are like, it was up 190% on the day. Why are you only claiming 70%? Because I don't try to catch the entire move, you freaking degenerates. Okay? I want it to go up first. I want it to prove itself. And frankly, that's how you can really increase your odds of success. Although, like I said, I think this probably has more to go tomorrow. We'll see. But if you make 70%, if you make 50%, if you make 30%, it's all fantastic. Do not fall into these lying piece of crap promoter degenerates that, huddle around all these penny stocks. It's easy for some of them to hold because they know that there's going to be new promotions. You don't want to know if there's a new promotion. You don't want that kind of information. And a lot of the time, even when they claim that there's going to be a new promotion or a new spike, they're usually wrong. So it's a very low odds guessing game. So don't let anybody make you feel bad, even if you make a penny a share or a half a penny a share. You need to learn to take the meat of the move. And even if you just catch a small piece, that's fine too. Do not feel pressured to catch the entire move. Okay? I can't stress this enough. And there's so many just bad characters floating around on Twitter and on the internet. You really just gotta, laugh at them. Maybe just give them a little high five, little emoji, or maybe even tip them. Give them $5 because that'll be more money than they'll have in their bank accounts in a few years. Seriously, you have to understand, penny stocks and the people who believe in these things, they're almost always wrong. So what does it come back to? Oh, that's right. I had you write down something. Ride the hype, but never believe it. It all comes full circle. So whether you sell too soon, whether you didn't get executed, whether you got a smaller position size, whether you took the meat of the move. It's all about learning from each of these supernovas and ride them, but never ever believe the hype, because they will rip your heart out and break it into a million pieces. And that will happen with your brokerage account too. I'm not worried about the, one or two out of 1,000 that actually make it. I go with high odds strategies, high odds patterns. Sorry, it's been a long day. Click the link below if you want to watch the free presentation on Supernova. I highly encourage you to get into, my Supernova alerts. It's separate, that I specifically don't trade because they move faster. A lot of them are lower float, so I don't want to be, conflicted with my own personal trading. The Supernova alerts are separate, where it's more like, you're going for bigger gains. And understand that works for busier people. For me, I like taking singles. So that's why, I personally don't trade the Supernova alerts. They're separate, but I still alert them because I understand that there's good opportunities, for busier people or people who want that. I think, though, if you truly want to be a millionaire, you take singles. And we'll talk about the difference on my challenge webinar tomorrow, all you challenge students. So come ready with questions. Everyone else, I'll see you in the chat room tomorrow. Again, leave this comment underneath this video saying ride the hype, but never believe it, and then live by it. Thank you.